Fox 13's Good Morning Memphis starts now.
We're live in Hardin County this morning where a landslide has claimed a road and two homes. And we just learned that this section of Glendale Road is never going to be reopened.
Not much left of it either, is there? And we've got new information now on how many homes are flooded in Hardin County as the Tennessee River overflows its banks. An amazing situation you'll see live. You have a front row seat right here on Good Morning Memphis. I'm glad you're with us. I'm Valerie Calhoun. It's Wednesday, February 19th.
Morning, Coleman.
I'm changing it.
We have developing news this morning. Two homes. A landslide devours a road and two homes, and this danger is not over. We're live in Hardin County where the fire chief says he's never seen anything like this before.
And nor have we in this region, folks. Fox 13's Dominique Dillon joining us live from right where Glendale Road has collapsed and those two homes went down the embankment. The fire chief said it's still dangerous out there.
Absolutely, Val. I'm walking alongside the road right here, and if you take a look over, you can see it up close. Now, earlier I gave you a good look of the houses about to topple over into the Tennessee River, but look at this. Look for yourself because it's hard to describe. A huge chunk of the road has toppled over off the side of the cliff. You can see the yellow lining that splits a two-way road right here. Cracks, huge, large cracks. You can see the edge of the road as well, the edge of the cliff. Several trees have also toppled over. They have caution tape out here. This is an area that people want to avoid. Don't come out here if you can avoid it at all costs. Do not come out here. You can't even pass through here driving. We're told people living in the area that usually drive through this area are taking about a 5-mile detour. So that's not too much, but it is a detour and it's pretty inconvenient. So you can see it for yourself. About 50 feet of a road is now gone. Live in Hardin County, Dominique Dillon, Fox 13 News.
And Dominique, you were awfully close to the edge there. I was getting a little queasy here in Studio A, but how deep down is that drop for that road? It looks like it's at least 30, 40 feet down.
Oh, absolutely. Cynthia, come a little closer so we can show them about how deep this drop is. Yeah, not too close. We're not trying to fall in, but yeah, you can see it's at least a little, maybe even 2 stories at some parts of the road.
And Dominic, you were talking to the fire chief, Melvin Martin, just a few minutes ago. He said he does expect more of that road to be devoured by the landslide. Give us an idea of when you first arrived and you saw the two homes that are down by the river and this. What was your initial reaction? Because it's just us watching it from here, it's devastating.
Val, when I got here, I couldn't believe it. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Being from California, I've seen landslides on TV, but to see it in person, to see these houses at the bottom of the river, it's remarkable that no one was injured. And I'm happy, like we all are, that nobody was injured here. I mean, this road here, anything could have happened, but fortunately, the fire department, they were on it and they were making sure everyone in the area was safe.
We saw some onlookers, though, a moment ago. Are they having a trouble with looky-loos coming and trying to get a glimpse of it?
Looky-loos?
Looky-loos, you know.
Yeah, I've been on their I've been on their Facebook page, and they tell people, we know you want to get the perfect shot, the perfect picture, but please avoid this area because it's dangerous.
Yeah, that's how Southern woman taking the picture. I didn't know she was called a looky-loo, but
that's what looky-loos.
Yeah, but that is, and so the good news from the fire chief was that a lot of those people were, I was wondering how would they get to their homes if they lived beyond where Dominique is, and he says there are some detours, 5, maybe 10 miles to get to it, inconvenience, but at least they'll be able to get to it.
Yeah, he said that's the main road to Saltillo. He also said, because we asked about the flooding, and we've seen his drone footage showing the flooding in Hardin County there by the Tennessee River. He said 400 homes, but most are vacation homes. About 75 are people who live there full time. That's still a lot of families with a lot of damage from the flooding.
Yeah, and so as dire as it looked, he was saying that most of the homes you just can't get to. The water didn't get into the homes because they're on those stilts. So once the water recedes and people get to that, things should be okay.
Except for right here on Glendale Road in Hardin County. Those two homes are done for. And I love how he described, not love, but it was chilling to hear him describe how the family in one of the homes heard cracking sounds. and called the fire department, and that was right before their home went in. That one was vacant. But can you imagine, Ernie? Your home is cracking, the land is falling from beneath your home, and you're still in it.
Yeah, and you know, everybody, naturally, you want to, after it happens, you want to see if you can get in there and save something. But, you know, structurally, you don't know how sound it is. It could be worse. And, you know, he said they had a few hours, a little bit of time to get some stuff, but not going to be able to live in those homes.
Yeah. Just know that Dominique Dillon and her crew, Cynthia Perkins, they're going to put all this story together for you tonight at 5 and at midday. Of course, we will have more on this. It's compelling to watch, devastating for the people involved, though,
for sure.
Certainly. And new this morning, a Memphis business is helping a teen's family. She was murdered in her home last weekend, but she worked at the Domino's on Highland Street near Southern, and now they're going to donate 25% of their sales this week to the family of Sierra Howard. Again, the 18-year-old was murdered in her Berclair home last weekend. Police say it was her stepfather who attacked her and her mother. Her mother survived, but Domino's says Sierra was training to become a manager. So all week, the store is donating 25% of its sales to the family, and they've set up a fund at Renaissance Bank as well. If you'd like to help out, all this information is on our website, fox13memphis.com. Click on the Scene on 13 tab.
Well, the Clarion Ledger reports that one person is in custody this morning in a deadly quadruple shooting at an off-campus event in Mississippi. We know that 4 students were shot, 2 of them shot to death, and they have been identified as James Carr, there on the left, and Tahir Fitzhugh, who's on the right. Carr is from Itabena. Fitzhugh is from Philadelphia, Mississippi. School leaders at Alcorn State say that shooting happened earlier this week at an event venue that is 13 miles north of campus. The Clarion Ledger also reporting that the suspect was not a student at Alcorn State, and he was arrested on an aggravated assault warrant in Adams County. Campus police said they issued a lockdown, but they have since lifted that.
It is 9:38 now, and the president passed out several pardons offering clemency to some white-collar criminals, some pretty big names.
Yeah, and among those big names, Eddie DeBartolo Jr., the former owner of the San Francisco 49ers. He pled guilty in 1998 of failing to report a felony in a bribery case out of Louisiana. President Trump even commuted the 14-year sentence of former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. This is video of Blagojevich arriving at his home earlier this morning. He had black hair when he went into prison 8 years ago, white-haired now. He was convicted for corruption. He tried to sell former President Barack Obama's Senate seat out of Illinois. Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg spoke about the pardons.
This president seems like he's never met a corrupt politician he didn't like. It's one thing about him that actually is bipartisan, is his fondness for corrupt politicians. And it's just, to me, the absolute wrong direction to even think about that pardon power.
When asked if he will pardon his longtime friend Roger Stone, who's set to be sentenced in federal court tomorrow, the president said he hasn't given it any thought.
9:39 now. First Lady Melania Trump receiving a big honor today from Palm Beach Atlantic University. It is their 2020 Woman of Distinction Award. She's receiving the award today at a luncheon. The university honors women who are dedicated to improving the community. Now this year, the spotlight is only on the First Lady. Sometimes they honor 2 women. But proceeds from the luncheon go towards a scholarship fund for female students.
And still to come, look at this. This is a live look at that road that collapsed in Hardin County. You can see our reporter in the distance, Dominique Dillon. We're going to catch you up on the aftermath after the break, but that road is gone. Happening this morning, we are getting our last look at that devastating landslide in Hardin County.
Yeah, and that's a live look right there, too. The Glendale Road has been destroyed. That section, we're told, will never be fixed because they can't.
They have to move it.
Yeah.
They have to move the road.
The road. And he thinks, the fire chief told us a few minutes ago in the last hour, he thinks that it will crumble more down the embankment towards the Tennessee River.
Yeah, we had a reporter, Dominique Dillon, standing close to the edge of that. I was a little nervous for her, but she said it's at least a couple stories. Looks like it's maybe 30 feet down from that angle there, but thankfully nobody was on the road at the time.
Right. 2 houses have collapsed due to the landslide. They're kind of hovering over the Tennessee River. There's a lot of flooding in Hardin County. The fire chief, Melvin Martin, told us 400 homes are surrounded by floodwaters. Only 75 of them, though, are people who live there full time. But a lot of issues due to that flooding from the Tennessee River and the landslide. And Brittany DeBose, that comes from rain, right? When the ground's so saturated.
It does, and we've received so much rain just in the past couple months.